Hi guys, Greg Harding Photography. Thanks for joining us once again. I hope you grabbed yourself a nice coffee. I have. It's been I've ground the beans special and everything, so yeah, it's all lovely. Got the old stove top on the go, and we're cooking. Oh, it smells great. So, gosh, what a week. It's been a week of up and downs today, this week, and God, I don't know. It's been I've had highs and lows this week, I can tell you, and the lows have been pretty low. Yeah, I've been struggling to get payments through from clients. That's really been ticking my boxes, and just like being let down by a couple of shoots that I thought were booked, or at least they were booked, and then clients cancelling. That's always an annoyance, of course. But also just to be completely honest and transparent, they booked me, which was fair enough, and I had it all sorted out for them. It's a client I've worked with previously, and the MD of that company has gone behind the marketing person's back and booked another photographer who's kind of a mate, I guess, and that's kind of what was suggested in the email back to me, which they came back. They were the guy I've been dealing with was very apologetic about cancelling me because the MD has decided that he wants to use a friend of his. So and that is, it's pretty annoying because, you know, I've done work for them previously. They've seen the quality of the work. They know what goes into it. And it's just pretty short-sighted of the MD to then think, okay, well, I'm just going to get my mate in and do it. And I'm a bit peeved, to be honest. You know, and I'm trying not to take it personally. It's up to him where he spends his money, and that's fair enough. But I'm just a bit gutted that, you know, they've spent all this time talking to me and about arranging the shoot, about what's going to be on the shoot, getting me, you know, down there. They've even booked a hotel for me, you know, which I had confirmation for a day or so before that. So it was all fine, and then all of a sudden the MD's gone out and booked this other photographer, so I've got to be cancelled. It's just weird and a bit annoying, to be fair. And that, coupled with a couple of other things, it's just like, it's put me on the back foot, and you know, quite honestly, it's kind of, you know, I feel, I don't know, I think as a creative you kind of feel a bit vulnerable anyway, because you're not within a team of you know, a big company, so you do feel like you can get kicked around a bit, and so yeah, that's felt a bit like demoralising. So, but anyway, last Monday, did a shoot with Bio Fortuna. Now they are a fantastic company, really, and some of the shots I've been working on and delivered them out to them yesterday. They are over the moon with them, which, you know, to me, that's like, you know, come on, that's brilliant. Keep going, just do that sort of work. That's, you know, work for those kinds of clients that really, you know, are interested in what you're doing, as well as you know, they're really passionate about what they do, and they see the value in that. So they're kind of a biotech company. They deal with a lot. They deal worldwide with the sort of testing kits and the assays and things like that they do. I've got a load of kits here that they've just empty pots that they want me to photograph, because it's sort of a kit that they're producing. I got to do that, but I went out to their labs on Monday. We had a fab time. They spent a lot of effort making sure that everything was in the right place. Everything was set up for me on the Friday before I came on the Monday, and the staff were brilliant. They really pulled, you know, every stop out that they could just to get me round, and so I could cover everything. And I'm really over the moon with the photos that I took for them. I'll do a little web blog about what went on and about how, you know, I achieved some of these photos, because quite often the lab spaces are pretty bland. They're monotone. There's not many colours around, and so you have to work pretty hard with the lighting and with composition to sort of pull out the elements that they feel are critical to their work, and you really need to highlight. So using a mixture of the ambient light and the flash studio heads, as well as little flash guns that you take along, you can really pull around the scene to make it look like quite intense and very creative, and working with those hard lights as well as soft lights to pull that together. But as I say, I'll drop a blog in on the website. You can go in and check that out if you're really interested. But Monday was brilliant. Tuesday went over to the photography show. That was quite fun. I wasn't looking forward to it, to be honest, because I've been numerous times. I was looking forward to meeting up with a few people because being a photographer is kind of very photography based. So I knew I was going to meet up with a few professional photographer colleagues there, which I knew was going to be fun. But I wasn't really looking forward to the show itself, because the show's a bit, I don't know, I just get the impression it's not really geared up for professionals anymore. It's very amateur based. They're selling kind of kitsch stuff for taking your own stuff with mobile phones, and it's very software driven, and there's drones, and there's baby cake smashing things, and I don't know, it's just not really, from a commercial point of view, it doesn't really float my boat. I mean, there's loads of kit, of course, because that's why they go, that's why they put the show on. They want you to buy photography kit, and I guess it's the amateurs that will buy that. That's what they're there for, and that's what the manufacturers have bought stands for. It's because they're from a professional perspective. A professional will buy a lens and they'll make that last. They'll buy a body, and unless it gets broken, there's no real reason to change it, unless there's an absolute massive difference between one model and the next model. But camera manufacturers are bringing out models every 6 months, and from a professional point of view, there's no reason to change that often. Every couple of years would be sufficient. My clients, if I was still shooting on a 5D Mark II, my clients would be more than happy. But there's Mark D, Mark V, and there's all sorts of other new kit that has got touch screen display, and it's not a massive change. There's no real differences. The only real difference I can see would be for me to step into some sort of medium format photography capture, or get something that's dedicated to video. So there's no real reason for me to jump every 6 months into the new model. And so in that regards, the camera manufacturers that are there are selling to amateurs, and that's who they want. They know the amateurs just want the latest bit of kit because they think they need it. As professionals, you hardly need 50% of the gizmos and widgets that they cram into these cameras these days. I mean, to be honest, I was hesitant a long time ago when they started putting video into the stills cameras. I was like, why do I need that? So I mean, times have changed, and I shoot video now, so it's fine, and it's another tool that I can use and get something more out of the tools that I bought. So in that regard, thanks very much. But I don't need facial recognition. I don't need the other bits and bobs that they shove in there and they glamorize and they say you must have it, for the 1% of the work that I might need it for. Anyway, that's me bitching on about the show. But the show was great. The people I met there was the main difference that made the show great for me. I met up with a mentor of mine Bryn Griffiths, Hasselblad master, went to his talk, very good. He's given me a limited edition print to come away with, which was very kind, thank you. And yeah, I saw some other talks by on the Adobe stand. There was a guy by the name of Ron, I think his name is Tin Hin, or Time Hin, Ron Time Hin. Check him out anyway, he's on Instagram, he's massive on there. But he's doing some great work, and to be honest, the main reason I go to the show is to try and get inspired by other people's work, to wander around, to see what they're doing, and to see how I might apply that in my sort of limited commercial capacities. I mean, there's an awful lot of art type work, and that's got its place, but that's not the sort of thing that floats my boat. But it's just nice to see how other people apply that work, and see if I can just even get a little glimmer of that coming back into my sector, and see if that's useful. One of the other useful things that came out of that show was that quite a lot of people, I don't know whether it's kind of like a college thing or a university thing, but they speak about your visual signature. So not your style anymore, it's all to do with your visual signature, how people recognise your work. And that was quite interesting. I started thinking about how my visual signature, how my visual signatures apply to my marketing that I do, my website. You know, do people recognise my work? Would they go, oh yeah, that's photo by Greg Harding, you know? So, and how I might, reinforce that. So that's the sort of things I'm thinking about. On the Wednesday, I did a video shoot with Kat, and we went over to PBSI of Manchester. They do printed circuit boards and all sorts of other gizmos and widgets that they ship all over the world. It's proper nerdy stuff. I love it. It's really electronics engineering applied. They do replacements for I've done some stills for them previously, but we went back in and to take some video work with on a couple of cameras, and so Kat will be putting that together later, and be able to show you hints and tips from that as well, so that'd be great. So yeah, that was Wednesday. Yesterday I did some chasing of clients, get them to pay. Gosh, I was pretty ticked off with a bigger client of mine. Apparently they didn't have any payment details for me. I didn't hit the roof, but I sent them a pretty angry email back, saying, please get on with it because you're taking the mick. But hopefully that's being processed now. And yeah, today just getting ready for my shoot on Monday. I got a shoot with Hughes Safety Showers. That's Monday's job. That's all day. Fingers crossed for the weather. I've had a look on the weather forecast. It looks okay for Monday actually. From Tuesday onwards, it looks horrible. So I'm pleased I'm not photographing on Tuesday. But yeah, that's about it. What have you guys been up to? Did you go to the photography show? If you did, then what did you think of it? Give me your comments below. Is it mainly pushed towards amateurs? I know there's a pro section, but I didn't see much pro stuff going on. And yeah, what's your inspiration? What did you get from the photography show? I'd love to hear. Will you be going next year? I mean, that's a big question, isn't it? So, but that's enough from me for now. Thanks for tuning in once again, and I hope you have a great week in business ahead. So keep shooting, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.